If you are new to tie-dye and you are interested in increasing your overall knowledge on the topic, then I hope this video will be helpful or interesting to you. In today's video, we're going to be ice dyeing 2 shirts, and the colors are all by request. I've already got the spirals folded, so this is sort of a part that I usually put into the videos, but since this is kind of a niche video, I thought I would speed it up a little bit. So these are just standard shirts that have been spiraled, and these are the colors that we're going to use. So the crux of this video is we're going to be ice dyeing these shirts in 2 separate ways. One shirt we're going to do dye under ice, meaning powder dye directly on the shirt and then ice over the top of that. And on the other shirt, we're going to do dye over ice, which means there's going to be ice on top of the shirt and the dye will go on top of the ice. And there is a distinct result that I'm shooting for, and I'll be able to explain sort of a core concept of tie-dye through making this video. So let me go ahead and show you how we're going to get the color on the first one right now. Okay, so let me describe the setup I have here. What I have is a big tote, like a Costco, just the Costco clear totes that they sell. I have a baking rack. This is elevated, and this is the shirt already twisted up. The 3 colors we're going to be using today, these are by request, and at the end of the video, I think I'll be able to show you why. It'll make a little bit more sense. But the colors that we're using are deep purple, gunmetal gray, raven black, these are all from Dharma, and one of the 4 sections is going to be left white. So let me get some dye down. Okay, so it is as simple as that. This is roughly fourths. I don't need it to be perfect in this case. So we have gray, black, and purple. And I want to explain one small thing why black here is in the middle. Black can split, which is the topic I was taught, which I was alluding to at the beginning of this video. Black can split into some colors that are not ideal. You get some browns and some yellows and things that I don't necessarily want in this particular shirt. So I have bordered gray and purple around the black so that this has less chance to split, and then one section is left white. Now the next step is I'm going to put an ice barrier around this. This is just made out of aluminum foil. And the last step for this shirt is to put ice over the top. Let me go grab some ice. Okay, it is that simple. So this one is now going to, I'm going to set it aside for at least 24 hours, maybe a couple of days. The ice is going to melt through the dye. It will liquefy, and then it will dye the shirt. So I am just going to get this guy into storage. And now when we do dye over ice, we're going to allow those colors to split, and you're going to see what the constituent colors are made of. So I'm going to apply the dye in the same pattern that I did on the first shirt, but the first thing I need to do is get ice on top of this. All right, this should look pretty familiar, but in this case, we don't actually have any dye on the shirt yet. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna put the dye over the top of the ice in the same pattern. I'll do that now. Alright, so before I put this into storage, I just wanted to explain kind of briefly what I was talking about. I don't know if I've done an awesome job of explaining color splitting, but if you stay till the end, when I compare both of the shirts, it'll be a little more clear, I think. But the goal here is that this powdered dye will slowly, the ice will melt and the dye will trickle through. It will split into its components and then dye the shirt. So there's going to be a more color variation in this version of the shirt. I also mentioned that black doesn't make particularly nice splits. The splits in black are not always that great. And this will create some of those splits, but this shirt, the first shirt that I made, is actually a shirt by request. So these colors, they had to be these colors, and I thought this was a good opportunity to show the difference. So let's get this one in storage, and then in a day or two, we will come back with the shirts all rinsed out. You can see how they look before we open them, and then we'll pop them open, and you'll get to see what the difference is based on dye under ice or dye over ice. Okay, so here is the first of the two shirts. I am going to zoom in. This is the first shirt that we made. This is dye under ice. I just wanted to give you a peek of this because I'm going to show you the other one next, and you're going to get sort of a little bit of a better idea of one of the immediate obvious differences between dye under ice or dye over ice. So let me get the other one. Okay, so this is dye over ice, and you can see that that white patch that's really obvious on the other shirt isn't there. And we'll talk a little bit more about that, but right now I am going to go get these rinsed out so that we can pop them open. Okay, so here is a good look at both of the shirts, dye under ice, dye over ice, and the first and most obvious difference is that this shirt still has its white patch. So what this shows is that when you put the dye under the ice, you're going to get a cleaner pattern. So we put down 4 pizza slices and you can still sort of see them. So there's the white, the purple, the black, and the gray. Now if we look at dye over ice, this section right here is the white section. So this is where dye bled into that area. It's more diffuse. We're going to have more color splitting, which will be more easier to understand when we pop the shirts open. But just at a first glance, dye under ice is going to be much closer to doing a liquid dye. You're going to get more distinctive patterns that are easy to recognize. Dye over ice is going to give you a more diffuse pattern, a little bit you don't know exactly what you're going to get. So let's go ahead and open this one up first. Okay, so this one is going to need to lighten up a bunch, and it will once we put it through the washer, but you can see the distinctive purple line, the white patch, gray, and then black towards the edge. That's okay. This doesn't look awesome now, but I'm hoping that when it lightens up, some of these colors are going to pop a little better, but that's the thing, you never know. Let's open up the other one. Okay, so you can see here the white pattern is almost all but gone. A little bit of it managed to stick around towards the bottom here. Same kind of situation. This is going to lighten up, and then some of the pattern is going to be a little bit easier to see. So I think instead of talking about splits now, I think I better do it after these have been fully rinsed out. I think it'll be easier to see. Okay, so here is the first of the two shirts after it has been washed and dried. Upon reflection, I think this shirt is not going to be the shirt that I'm going to give to the person that they requested. I'm going to liquid dye with these colors. It looks a little bit oversaturated, I think primarily because the black and the gray are both so dark, it just really dominates the shirt. But one thing this does show very well is the difference between dye under ice and dye over ice. So let me grab the other one. So way different. You can see that it is way more pastel. The colors are subdued. It looks a little more worn, I suppose you could say. But let's talk about color splitting here. So when you look at the shirts side by side, this shirt here, this is the gray and the black. Now the gray and the black here is gray, and there's actually a little bit of green that you can see. Let me see if I can make that obvious to you. There's a little bit of green. It's way more obvious down here. Whether you like that or you don't, that came from the Raven Black. But if you just look at the two side by side, you can get a sense of whether or not you want to do your project with dye under ice or with dye over ice. So if you like the look of kind of a more worn pastel sort of a look, dye over ice is really good. If you want more defined colors, then dye under ice is a better choice. Well, if you liked the video, please give it a like, and thank you so much for watching. I will see you on the next one.